Hey everyone, welcome to Wild Woodland Lavender Farm. My name is Carrie. I am doing the update for the Single Seed Challenge 2021. This is week 19. So I'll show you the plants and how they're doing, and then there's something in the greenhouse I want to show you, and then we'll do maybe a small little update on the chickens because a lot has happened with them recently. Alright, so here, amidst all the chard, is my pepper plant, and it's got a lot more blooms on it this week. Thought I was gonna see peppers forming, but maybe not yet. Maybe, well, they should have gotten pollinated. We have bees all over the place, but maybe that's one there. So growing well, gotten lots of blooms on it. And of course, pea plant is done with. And Gideon's broccoli is so big, all the way from there to over here, and it's just to measure, it's reaching my hip. So tall plant. Still not seeing any broccoli florets or anything, so we'll see when it's gonna start producing for us. Again, the watermelon died. Lots of chard growing up in its spot. The cantaloupe, or the what do we call it? The honeylope plant is doing well. It's getting lots of growth, lots of blooms. And like I said, there were melons forming. Look how big that one is. Sweet. I've been gone for a couple days. We left on Tuesday to go to Idaho for a family fun day. Oh, and look, there's another one right there. What? So anyway, as I was saying, a small interruption there for a kid who's going to bed right now. Yeah, I was gone for a couple days because we went to a family fun weekend in Idaho, or not weekend, it's the middle of the week. But more melons forming. I'm so excited to see these. This is the first I've checked on them since we got home earlier today, so glad to see these forming. That's really exciting. I mean, that one's probably what, 2.5 inches long, and this one is pretty wide. Probably what, 2.5 inches in diameter. That's cool. I don't really care for melon myself, but other people in my family don't mind it. Mini melons. I like watermelon okay, but other melons I don't really like. So that's the update on the Single Seed Challenge plants. And oh, let me show you some of the other plants here. You know, I planted the tomatoes and stuff, and here's my comfreys, getting some good growth on there. And over here too. Got some nice big leaves going on. And got the secondary leaves coming on the pickling cucumbers. Got 3 here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then side-ons. Yeah, thanks, side-on. Let's not do that, okay? 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, 16. So 16 pickling cucumbers. That'll give me a lot of pickling cucumbers. But you can see my bed, my carpeting of arugula has grown up a lot. It's starting to exceed the growth of the broccoli plants over there. You see them sticking out? So I'm gonna have to come in here and I'll harvest some of that young arugula leaves. That's kind of why I've left it, so that I can harvest some. Pepper plants that I planted, some are getting kind of bug eaten, but for the most part they're doing good. Maybe a little bit of new growth on those. Ooh, look at this. Definitely some new growth on these. Ooh, a little pepper. And a littler pepper. Fun. Alright. The tomatoes are doing all right. I need to water in here. It hasn't been watered since I've been gone, so I'm missing a couple days of watering here. But let's go look in the greenhouse and then we'll talk about the chickens. Just saw these on the way to the greenhouse, so I thought I'd share them. The gladioli are blooming. One of my favorite flowers since I was a little girl. And the previous owners planted a whole bunch of them. So it's fun to see them blooming. Some more down here. There's a pretty dark purple one up front. Ooh, look at this coral one. That's one of my favorite colors. There's a pretty dark purple one out in front of the house that I'll show you too. And just along our creek bed here, you can see it's way overgrown with plants. And I've decided, I thought I was just going to let it grow wild and whatnot, but these plants right here are just taking over, and they have this humongous root system. You can see down here, that's the root, some of the root system from them. And they just feel like they're gonna clog up the stream, and I wanna clean that up. So we're gonna spend the next couple weeks, we'll spend some time cleaning up the creek bed here. And as you can see, had a lot of weeds in here, so I've been weeding. Earlier this week I was weeding along in here so I can get to my volunteer tomato plants right there and rhubarb plant right behind it there. Alright, in my greenhouse now, and I wanted to show you something that I found growing in the lilac, or not lilacs, the lavender again. Several times now I've caught the loofah gourd plants popping up because there were some sections when I planted them earlier this spring, several of these sections, you know, didn't pop up with any gourds from the seeds that I planted, so I figured they just weren't viable. And then like, I think about 4 times now I've had loofah plants popping up here with the lavender. And was it earlier this week? It must have been earlier this week. I saw another one popping up right in here. And I thought, oh, that's another loofah sponge plant. And I would thought the leaves look kind of odd though, so I thought they were just kind of like curled up after having been, you know, stuck in their seed for a while. But today when I came back in here to water, after having been gone for a few days, it had grown some more, and I thought, that does not look like a loofah plant. So this is what I found. A little tree growing in with my lilac. So I was not sure what it was at first. I thought, oh no, it's oh, what's that stupid tree? The black locust tree. Because it has leaves that look like this. And I'm like, no, that's not black locust. It wouldn't grow like that. And not with these. And so then my next 2 thoughts took me to 2 different things. Moringa and my soap nut tree. And I've been trying to determine which it is, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the soap nut tree because of this here. I don't think the moringa seed is a lot smaller. This would have come from a seed like this. So you can well imagine that these primary leaves would come more from a seed like this than from a moringa seed, which I don't have any in here to compare the two. I took them inside. So anyway, I think one of my soap nut seeds actually came up. After I've been trying for 2 years, at least 2 years, to grow from seed, trying various methods. And here I had I had about 5 or 6 of these, probably about 6 of these planted with seeds, and they weren't coming up, so I reused some of the soil, and I thought I'd gotten all the seeds out, but apparently I didn't. So now I have faith that I can grow these, and I'm really excited about this. So we'll let it mature in a pot for at least another year, and then we'll get it planted outside. So I'm so excited. So I had been so frustrated with the soap nut seeds and not being able to germinate them that I had found Western Soapberry on Etsy. So I sent away for some cuttings, and they came to me with the leaves all green, and so I thought that there was hope for them. Tinge. Oh, just leave him alone. Side on. Can't you just leave her alone? And Tinge, you really need to get over it. He's here. He's part of the family, just like you. You need to be more accepting. Silly cat. Oh, stop it, Tinge. Stop it. You want to say that up close and personal? Just leave him alone, would you? Just leave him alone. And side on, you need to leave Tinge alone too. Yeah. Okay. Where was I? Yes. So the cuttings had come to me. The leaves were green. They died pretty quickly, but I thought, you know, the stems would still have some life in them. I put rooting powder on them, stuck them in dirt, and I've been watering them ever since, and still no signs of life. But I haven't wanted to check them to see if they're rooting at all yet. It can take some time. So at least now, if these don't grow, I still have one. And I have faith now that I can grow some with the other seeds. So excited about that. So that'll do it here at Wild Woodland Lavender Farm for the single seed update and some other updates. Oh no, I forgot the chickens. So here are my lavender Orpingtons. They've gotten really big. And I've asked some other chicken people if they know if I have male or female, either from their wing feathers or tail feathers or their combs, and from the sounds of it, I might have all females, but I'm not entirely sure. But if you can count, there's only 8 here. I bought 10 and then had a surprise chick as well, and it was thought that the surprise chick I had was a Welsummer, which would lay, I think, dark brown eggs. But I only have 8 chicks here instead of 11. So some sad things have happened. And when I first had them in their bin, they all survived the trip here. But one morning, about a week after I got them, I went in to check on them in the morning, and there was a dead chick. And the only thing I can think of is that maybe it got smothered by the others as they all huddled together. That's the only thing I can think of, because it looked fine otherwise. There was no issues with it before. And then when I got back to, so that left us 10 chicks that I moved into here. And when I came back today to check on the baby chicks after we got home, I saw only 8. And they have been in here as far as I know. I had my sister checking up on them while I was gone, making sure they had their food and whatnot. And I don't think she let them out, but I think a critter got into them. So right here, this is their little door that goes outside. So right now I have it blocked with this, but I didn't have this here, which I should have. Now I'm kicking myself. But I could see some digging efforts here and there. Now they have a wood floor in there, so any digging efforts wouldn't have gotten a critter anywhere, except I think in their digging, they maybe noticed that they could get in. And I think that's what happened. And over here, I found a place that I thought it might have climbed over the fence, whatever it was, but I've covered it with brush now. But right here was an area where I think it may have dug under the fence that's here. And then right here, I put this block, and something had dug in under there for sure. I know that was not there before I left. And evidence back here of a critter And I know it's either a raccoon or an opossum, but it left some scat behind. So yeah. So I'm pretty frustrated because I'm pretty sure it's all my fault. I didn't secure that door as much as I could have, and I'm really disappointed. So we have eight lavender Orpingtons, hopefully all female, but we'll find out. So in other news, we've also lost 2 of the baby chicks that were hatched. We had 5 total, actually 6, but one of them really didn't survive the hatching. So 5 had survived hatching, but there is a block in there, a big heavy block that I had put up to kind of dissuade the baby chicks from getting through that fencing that's between the 2 sections of the coop, and it was on some straw, and I didn't even think about it, but as Mama Hen was showing them how to scratch around and search for food and stuff in the straw, it knocked over the block, and it fell on 2 of them and basically squished them. So we're down to 3 baby chicks that were hatched here on the farm, and we've had, I think I talked about the previous one, but we had another hen die, one of the older hens. Maybe I did talk about it last time, but we have another hen now who has been injured, and I don't think she's gonna live too much longer. And I think a lot of the problem is I have too many roosters. I have 3 roosters, and I was thinking that 25 hens would be enough for the 3 to share, but now I'm double thinking that. So I think I'm gonna have to just move along 2 of the roosters. I still want to keep 1, and Brent and I have talked about which one we're gonna keep. So that's gonna come here shortly. We're gonna pass along 2 of them to anybody who wants them. So anyway, a slight update with the chickens and on the greenhouse and on the single seed challenge. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.